Hi, how are you? I'm Anthony from Cypher House Escape, and today I'm back with some more Huntinality. So we had solved through round 2 up to through Mother Earth. And so the next one is Pile of Letters. It looks like we have 2 more feeders for round 2, and then the meta puzzle, and then we have round 3. Alright, Piles of Letters. Does Big Bash siblings really need a Fire Emblem character? Against his better judgment, Waluigi arrives in Fodlan, and his suitcase of bribes crossed out weapons to search for another fighter. He finds everyone enjoying an evening of word games. As he walks from table to table to observe the games, he is boggled by many of the words. To help him follow along, Waluigi grabs a dictionary with a link to look upwards to look up words he doesn't recognize. He waits for a break in the action to start his pitch. What 2 weapons did Waluigi bring to convince fighters to join the game? So my first thought was maybe that we're creating that maybe this is like a Boggle game. Actually, how far does this go? Ah, okay, so here is a Boggle game. And then there's more. Wow, okay. And yeah, let's start reading through this script. Time. Let's see what words you've got. Structure type of a famous Parisian monument. 4. Hilda says, got it, 5. Oh, this is cool, I think. Okay, so in Boggle, you have a set amount of time, and you have to figure out where the words are or what words you see within the grid. You write them down, and so do your opponents. And then after the round is over, you do this, where you compare what words you wrote down and what your opponent wrote down, and you only get points for things that you found that your opponent didn't. But what it looks like they're doing here, instead of just saying the word that they found, they're giving a crossword clue for what word they found. And it seems really cool because the other individual also found something that fits that crossword clue, but with a different enumeration. And then once we compile all those, I think we're gonna have to try to spell them in the Boggle grid here. Waluigi looks at the board and notices the name of one of the weapons he brought crossing through the grid. But before he can point it out, Hilda dumps out most of the blocks and is off to her next game. And then what are we doing in the second part? Skyscraper. See, I know how to spell. Okay, I believe you. Let's draw tiles and get started. Let's not limit ourselves to stacks of at most 5 tiles. So Skyscrapers is a logic puzzle. Oh, I see. Yeah, this is Scrabble. I'm pretty sure we're playing through a game of Scrabble here. These are the letters that they play in each case, and we're going to have to build off of this board, I guess. Because I see we can spell war here, and that's a battle. And then I'm guessing Hilda goes with a tool for fishing, which would be a rod. So we're building off of this R and adding OD. First, we're looking for a structure type of a famous Parisian monument. Is the 5-letter one tower? Mononoko says arch. What you wear on your head. Could be a hat versus a cap, maybe? Jaguar, for example, is a cat. Car? Oh, a Jaguar is a car. You're right. Good job, chat. Let's jump to types of quirks. I know my quirks. We have up, we have down, we have charm, strange, and then we have top and bottom. Okay, on to part of a tennis competition. I think it's game, set, and then match. Anger. So anger is ire and rage. Prefix of man, found in 80s video games. So that would be Pac-Man and Jumpman? Mega Man, says Light Scouters. Okay. I feel like Jumpman's too obscure. Jumpman was Mario's original name. I think Mega Man is the more common one. An agreement made by blood. Is there a blood oath? I think a blood oath is a thing. Blood pact? Modern US military fighter plane name. I see Falcon and I see Eagle and Raptor. W seems to be our big, possibly one of our big break-ins into the grid. Can we get a sense of what letters are around the A's? So things that could be next to the A's are R, H, M. Okay, so how many letters is that? That's 8 letters. So these could be our 8 letters around the A. And so that means these other letters are the ones that are going to go in these 5 spaces. So I'm gonna do a bit of coloring here to help us visualize this. Okay, so that's at least a little helpful. Okay, new plan. Let's see if we can identify which of the blue letters is adjacent to orange letters and vice versa. So we can hopefully identify like what's going in these. Actually, if we have one orange character that's not adjacent to any blue characters, we can put that in the corner right away. We can place the O, right? Can we? Let's take a look at the O here. You say it's next to I, T, and W. If O's next to at least 2 orange things, it has to go up there. But again, we can't tell the difference between T and R, although you're right that we know one of the T's is an orange T. So is O next to another orange letter? Oh yeah, the I. Yeah, okay, you're right. I agree with you completely, Yoshi Tails. I think we put our O up there. But Opa is an interesting word as well as Oma, right? Because that means, do we have anything else between an O and an A? A T, iota, right? So we know T, M, and P are actually gonna go in these 3 spaces. So we further subdivided the grid, and this is a good thing. This is what we want. M cannot go on top row, says Kusain. Okay, let me take a look at that. M can't go on the top row because once it goes to the E, which happens in Mega, so it crosses over into orange. So basically, we know M doesn't go here because it has to be near orange. If it went here, it has to go into E here, and then it has to go back to G, which is in blue. Good call, Kusain. So M can't go up there, M has to go here. I agree with you on that. That means that because M is next to the E, we have to put our E here, and G has to go here then. Sergeant Reckless, yeah, I agree. So if I went up top here, then we wouldn't be able to get R down to E. So I has to go here and T has to go here because we put those two, we said those 2 have to be next to yellow letters. And that actually means the R, we can place the R and the K. We have the G-E-R, so that means that, and the other R has to go here for charger. Okay, this is interesting. So we have to start at the O, we have to go to this A, and then we need to be next to the yellow T, and the yellow T has to be next to the blue H. So that means yellow T goes here. Oh, can put a C from Arch, okay. Oh, you're right, you're right. Yes, thank you for that, Yoshi Tails. So CH goes like this. Waluigi looks at the board and notices the name of one of the weapons he brought crossing through the grid. But before he can point it out, Hilda dumps out most of the blocks and is off to her next game. So, how is there a weapon crossing through this grid? I assume that means it's going to be mostly... Oh, actually, I see it. Yeah, I see the weapon for sure. Very interesting. All right, so let's talk about it. I see an 8-letter weapon. When it says it's crossing in the grid, it doesn't mean that it's just running straight through the grid. It means it's actually crossing over itself. And I think it's the 2 diagonals here. So we have Tama down the one diagonal and Hawk down the other diagonal. All right, let's do the second half of this puzzle. So this is some weird mix between Scrabble and Skyscraper. What we kind of figured out is that this is detailing a Scrabble match. The first columns for each of them is a crossword clue for the word that they put in, and then the letters given afterwards are the letters that they put into the grid. So we start with battle, that is war, and so I'm guessing that's why they gave us the WA to start off. And then we go to tool for fishing, which is rod. So I'm gonna put rod going down there. Sculling instrument. What is a sculling instrument? I guess we're going with a 2-letter word here. Or, oh, right, interesting. Is Skyscraper Scrabble a thing? Let me take a look. Basically, I think we can put letters on top of letters. I don't know if this is an actual board game. I'm not immediately finding it. I'll do this when we put a letter on top. That seem fair? Seem doable? Now, we should know from this that this means we're only going off of the rightmost letter in each box. All right, let's go to child. I see that Squish wrote kid. I agree with kid. So we're going to put kid here. Now we have pouch. Is it sack? Yeah, so I think we're doing S. We're putting an A here and a C there. I don't think R has to be a word. if I'm understanding the rules correctly, we're just making whatever word we need to make. Maybe I'm wrong. Chat's really mad at me for making the word R. Oh, skim milk. Skim milk is a thing. So I guess I am completely wrong? How does this game actually work? Put kid in backwards. Oh, is that gonna help? Am I allowed to put words in backwards? Kid could replace rod. You're right. I like that. So does that help us? If I do kid like this. Now, where does sack go? Sack goes here. And now skim, well now we don't have the S for skim. And sack, we think goes up here, right? That sets us up skim, and it gives us skid right now. Okay, so we add the M now for skim. I like that. That looks good. Now we need alternative to coffee. What is an alternative to coffee? Is T, T-E-A. Puzzling Old Man says there's only one place T can go? Oh, because if you did T here, it'd be Issac. So T goes here. Equipment for snooker, Hussein and Puzzling Old Man says is Q. I agree with Q. So that means we need to use this C and go down. It's worn around the neck is a tie, right? So I think that has to go down from the T here, and we get sec, as in an abbreviation for second. Is that allowed? Bathroom feature. BT bathroom feature. Is it a tub? It's probably a tub, which means we're going around this U here. Does that give a word? Set. It does. Let's go down to opposite of in is going to be out. Okay. So I'm going to find somewhere to put out, and then you can all tell me that I'm making invalid words. And then you can tell me where it actually goes. So if I tried to put out here, we would get T-I-U and Oakham, so that's probably not it. If we tried to put it down here, we would get 2, which is okay, but I-U probably isn't. So I'm guessing it goes up along the top. Noah built one, it's an arc. Pirates preferred spirit. Looks like rum. Oh, just rum and mark, you think? Okay. In this grid, I'm just going to keep track of which letters are on top. I think that's going to make it a lot easier for us. Type of trial, huh? Com trial, mock trial. Is it a mock trial? It is a mock trial. So we're putting O here, we're putting C here, and I'm doing that in my second grid as well. Corridor is probably gonna be hall. How are we gonna fit hall in here? How am I gonna use that? Oh, I see how I'm gonna use that L. I put the H here, and then A, and L. A place for which you might need a membership. Looks like gym to me. Where can we put gym? Just over top of dim again. All right, let's go to, it might be found under a desk. Hussein says gum and then toy for this round. So gum, where can we put gum? Just over top of gym again. We just keep overwriting this word, but we're at least happy with the G now, it looks like. And then slinky is a toy. Where could toy go? Over top of tub? And then ruckus is a fuss. Fuss and flags. That's cool. We're merging these two together. Okay, so bovine is now cow, and where can we put cow? Probably just over here. All right, we finished our skyscraper Scrabble puzzle, but now we need to do an actual skyscraper puzzle. These black pieces must be placed into the grid that can be rotated, but cannot overlap or touch, even diagonally. We're putting the numbers 1 to 6 in every row and column, just like Sudoku. We need to consider these numbers around the outside. Our numbers represent skyscrapers, and the number represents how many units tall those skyscrapers are. So 1 is the shortest building, 2 is twice as tall, and so on. These numbers around the outer edge indicate how many buildings you would be able to see in that row or column if you stood on that number and looked in there. The trick is that taller buildings block smaller buildings. So in order to see 3 buildings here, we need like a smaller building in front of 2 gradually growing, buildings. So like 2, 3, and 6 maybe. And now that 6 is gonna block everything that's behind it. A 1 basically means it sees the very first building, because you're always going to see the very first building in that row or column, no matter how tall it is. But the 1 tells us that we're not going to see any other buildings behind it. And so the only way that can happen is if you have the 6 right up there, right up against each of those 1s. Because if the 6 was ever further back, you would always see at least the first building and the 6. And now, I always start with the tallest buildings, and I try to see where else can I place the rest of the tall buildings for a skyscraper puzzle. Those are our options just based on Sudoku rules. And so I try to whittle this away. If we placed the 6 in any of these 3 spaces, for example, we would never be able to see 4 in this row. So we can take those out of the equation and put a 6 here. Same kind of deal here. If I put a 6 right here, we would only be able to see at most 3 buildings in this column. So we can't have those 2 being 6s. We have to put them here and here. I'm gonna slowly whittle away where my 5s can go, and we're going to see if we can figure it out. We can get rid of the space right in front of a 3. In front of a 4, we can block 2 spaces. What about this 5? In front of the 5, we can block here. So we need a 5 here, which is going to get rid of everything else in that row. In column 4, the 5 must be at the bottom. Otherwise, you'll see at least 3. You'll see at least 3. Oh, you're right. I forgot about that restriction, didn't I? That the 2s have to... can act as a further restriction. Okay, you're right about that. Thank you, Sarl Kagan. Okay, so yes, a 5 has to go here. That eliminates these. Same with this column, I think. Yeah, same with this column. We need a 5 here. We need a 5 here as well. And that means we have 5s here and here. I'm also going to go around real quick, actually, and just mark which of these are no longer providing us with useful information. All right, I'm not sure about the 4s in these last 2 places. We can place some 1s and 2s over here. This has to be bigger than a 2, so this is the 3. And so I just have to have 3s here and here, I think. So I think I gotta turn to these shaded pieces. Where can my 6, 1, 2, 5 block go? But it can't be here because I have a 3 here now, so it has to be this one. So we go clockwise 6, 1, 5, 2, like that. That means we put a 2 here. So this one's placed, so this one now has to go down here, right? 6, 2, 6, 1. And that means my 4s are gonna go here. Have a 1 here and here. Do I have my other shaded pieces here? 4, 2, 1 is over here. 1, 3 is up there. All right, yeah, I think that looks great. Actually, that was almost this shape, wasn't it? It was this shape except for this piece right here. I probably should have realized a lot earlier that these pieces would fit in that way. Oh, no, I see. I think I see where we're going. Here. Yeah, Sarl Kagan, I noticed that too. Some of them have the same number and some of them don't. And I think that's where we're playing our final weapon word. So let's highlight where they match. 2, 6, 5, 3, 1. Okay, so I think this is where we're looking. Yeah, so we're basically spelling something down this... Well, hold on, this one matches with 3, but the one below doesn't. How's that work? So these are the 5 spaces where she's going to be playing her letters. And we need to still make words running across each of these. So let me get rid of the letters in here. And we need to come up with a weapon that's going to be spelling down this column. It's still going to use the E. And we still need to make words. So I'm guessing we have like an O here. Puzzling Old Man thinks ends in an R for peer. Interesting. Is this Adam? Maths? Is Homer a weapon? Oh, hammer. Let's bring tomahawk hammer down here. That's correct. Hilda has joined the party. That was a really fun puzzle. I liked that a lot. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out and for watching and for participating in the chat. Have a great day, everyone, and as always, happy escaping.